You're changing the rear brakes on a car with an electronic parking brake. Can you just push the piston back in like on an older car? No, you can't. If you force that piston, you will permanently break the entire caliper assembly. Here's the reason why. Inside that caliper, right behind the piston, sits a small, powerful electric motor. That motor is connected to a threaded rod with a set of gears. When you press the parking brake button, the motor spins that rod, and it mechanically drives the piston out to clamp the brake pads. Think of it like a tiny, powered screw jack. It creates a very strong, physical lock that holds the car still. It doesn't use hydraulic pressure to stay on. So, when you try to force that piston back in with a C-clamp, you're fighting against that whole mechanical gear setup. The gears are often made of a hard plastic. Your clamp will easily generate enough force to strip those plastic teeth or bend the threaded rod. It happens instantly, and disconnecting the car's 12-volt battery does nothing. This isn't an electronic lock that needs power. It's a mechanical lock, like a bolt that's been cranked down tight. That motor has to electrically spin in reverse to unlock it. The only correct way to start this job is by putting the system into service mode, sometimes called maintenance mode. To do this right, you need a bidirectional OBD2 scan tool. Your basic code reader that only pulls engine codes won't work here. You need a tool that can send commands back to the car. You'll plug it in, go to the brake control module menu, and find the command for brake pad replacement, or something similar. On a few cars, like certain Ford or Volkswagen models, there might be a manual trick, like holding the parking brake switch while you pump the gas pedal. But you must look up the exact factory procedure for your specific car. Using a proper scan tool is always the safest method. Once you activate service mode, you'll hear a clear, whirring noise from the back brakes for a few seconds. That's the motor spinning backward, pulling that threaded rod all the way to its home position. This gives you the room you need to press the piston in. After the noise stops, it's a good safety practice to unplug the 2-wire electrical connector on the back of the caliper. This makes sure the motor can't accidentally turn on while you're working. Now, with the system in service mode and unplugged, you can use your C-clamp. The piston should slide back into the caliper smoothly, with just the light resistance of pushing brake fluid back up the line. If you feel any hard stop, something is wrong. The system isn't fully retracted. After you have the new pads and hardware on and the caliper is bolted down, the very first thing you do is plug that electrical connector back in securely. Then, go back to your scan tool and command the system to exit service mode. This is just as important as the first step. The tool tells the brake module to run the motors forward again. You'll hear them whir as they push the piston out until the new pads just make contact with the rotor. The system is measuring how far it has to travel to learn the thickness of your new pads. This is how it recalibrates its 0 point. Don't touch the brake pedal or the parking brake button until the scan tool says the process is finished. If you skip all this and just force the piston, the dashboard will light up with a fault code right away. But the real problem is the physical damage. You've stripped the gears inside. A scan tool can clear a fault code, but it can't fix broken plastic parts. At that point, your only fix is a complete new brake caliper, which includes that expensive motor. So, before you even take a wheel off, your first step is to find the right service mode procedure for your vehicle.